Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to talk about choosing the right kindergarten for your child. Making that leap from childcare or staying home and sending your child off to kindergarten can be a big step for families. So we are here to help you in that journey on making the decision that's right for your family and educating you on what your choices are and making that choice for your family. So my name is Lauren. I am the Family Support Specialist with Child Care Answers. In my role, I help families find both childcare and school programs, as well as provide workshops and one-on-one support when it comes to your journey as a parent. I am also a mom of two, so I have a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old, and so I can walk alongside of that parenting journey with you. Because I am kind of right alongside of you in your shoes, going through those same things that you are going through as well. If you are not familiar with Child Care Answers, we are one of 5 resource and referral agencies in Indiana. So Child Care Answers services Marion, Hamilton, and Hendricks counties. So we are in central Indy. But we are just one of 5 that can serve you. So if you are outside of one of our 3 counties, we can help connect you to your resource and referral agency who may be more familiar with the school programs and the school systems in your area. Additionally, Child Care Answers is very active on social media, and we have a great website that has a searchable resource center. I will share a few links of some of our resources, but you can also just go in there and search for school transition, kindergarten, paying for care. All 3 of those are pages that I'm going to share with you today, as well as there's information on child development, play ideas, and then a great family fun page on things to do in central Indiana with your family. So we are going to hop right into what kindergarten looks like in Indiana. So we're going to start with the cutoff age for kindergarten, mainly looking at public school. So when it comes to requirements around kindergarten, for you as a parent, kindergarten is not required. So you are not required to send your child to kindergarten. However, schools are required to offer a kindergarten program for eligible students. And so what that means is your school system, so the public school within your neighborhood school, is required to offer a kindergarten option, which may be full day or half day for eligible students. And eligible students are children who turn 5 on or before August 1st of that school year. So you might be thinking like, oh, my child will be 5 like right before that or right after. Like, should my child go to kindergarten? Is my child ready to go to kindergarten? These are all things we'll talk about. If your child turns 5 between August 1st and October 1st, the state does allow you to appeal for admittance, and your child is able to be covered, and the state is able, or that school is able to claim funds for your child to go to school. But that decision is up to the school if they're going to admit your child. And then private schools do act a little bit differently when it comes to that, but that is typically the cutoff for school. So August 1st is kind of what you're looking at as far as age cutoff. So if you're thinking about preparing for the next school year, that is really what you're looking at, is will your child be 5 by August 1st. So if your child will be 5 by August 1st, the next thing to do is to start kind of thinking about what you want for a school. And as a parent, my first thing is thinking about what my dreams are for my child, what my hopes are for my child, and what ultimately I want for my child's education. I know as a parent that I am my child's first teacher and I am their biggest advocate. And so with that being said, where my child goes to school is my choice. And that's the same for you as a parent. You get to choose. Just because you live in a certain district doesn't mean that your child necessarily has to go to school in that district or the school that your district for. So you have your school system, and then you also have the school within that school system that your district for. But there are often options outside of that. So I first think about what my hopes and dreams are for my child. So here are two pictures of my daughter. The top picture is her first day back at school after COVID. She's 2, almost 3, getting ready to go back to school. And what I was looking for as I was sending her to school is somewhere that she was going to be healthy, safe, and loved. I knew that that transition was going to be very difficult. She had been home with us for a very long time. Her childcare had been very disrupted because she was going to school since she was 6 weeks old, and then she was home with us. And it was a scary time, and I wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to get sick. So what I was looking for shifted. I really just cared that she was loved, she was safe, and she was healthy. That's it. As we were preparing to send her off to school, which is the bottom picture, and she's really excited. You can tell how nervous she is in the top picture and how those nerves are gone by the bottom picture. What I was looking for, or my hopes and dreams for her, shifted. I, of course, still wanted her to be loved and to be healthy and to be safe, but those weren't necessarily my top priorities anymore. I really wanted her to go somewhere that created this foundation of learning. I wanted her to go somewhere that she loved, that loved her, that she had fun in. I wanted her to go somewhere where she would make friends, and ultimately just begin to develop that foundation of learning, and love learning, and somewhere that would foster that love of learning for her. And I think I found that, which is fantastic. And so I get this smile from her every single day that I send her to school. No tears, no, can I please stay home? Can I skip school? None of that that I was getting just after she re-entered childcare post-COVID, because I think that I went through that checklist of what my hopes and dreams were for her. And I made that solid decision from that list of hopes and dreams. So knowing kind of what your hopes and dreams are for your child begins to help you make that solid decision about what you're looking for. Additionally, it's deciding what you want in a school. So knowing your schedule, do you want a full or a half-day program? Do you want your child to go to kindergarten in the same program that they went to childcare? And do you want to make that transition once they go to first grade? How does your child learn? Do you want to kind of reiterate how they learn best within their school program? What early childhood experiences has your child had? And do you want those to be mirrored within this school? Because of COVID, a lot of kiddos are going to school for the first time once they enter kindergarten, never have had a true childcare experience because they've been with a babysitter or a nanny. And so this may be the first time that they're entering group care. So what are those experiences and how might that affect your decision in what to look for in a school? So begin thinking globally. So before ever touring a program, think about like this global picture of what you want in a school. So start looking online, start asking friends, start thinking about what you want in a program. And so think about what your philosophy or your approach to education might look like. Are you looking for a public school? Are you looking for a private school? Are you looking for a faith-based education? Are you looking for a curriculum that is more hands-on and collaborative? Are you looking for something a little bit more rigorous? Do you want your child to come home dirty because they've been really engaged on hands-on play? What is it that you're looking for in a curriculum? What do you believe in when it comes to education? This may be similar to the way that you were raised, and it may be different, and that's okay. Also consider the whole school. So you're choosing a school and not just a teacher. So you may love the kindergarten teachers, which is great. But you need to also know that first grade comes next and second grade comes next. So it's important to love the whole school as a community and what that school offers. So what are those pieces that brings you a sense of community within this school? And one way to know this is to attend sporting events, look online, look at their website, but also to talk to current parents. Talking to current parents can be a wonderful resource. These parents can tell you why they chose the school that they chose, what's exciting about parent involvement, why they think this school is great, maybe some things that they don't love about the school or things that they would change, any relevant information that they would like to share that can help you make a solid decision. And then lastly, on a global level, is really thinking about a balanced curriculum. So looking for a school that practices both an academic curriculum and a social emotional curriculum, because a school that lays a foundation of both academic and social emotional development is a school that's going to give your child everything they need to be successful later in life. So children not only need to learn the academics, but they need to learn how to communicate, to solve problems, work together, be part of a classroom community. And it's really important that they're learning that balance between academic and social emotional learning. So once you've narrowed down the type of program that you're looking for based on faith-based, public, private, charter, whatever it may be, as well as the curriculum, you've talked to some families, you've looked online. Now it's time to go look at the school. So this can happen by touring, going to an open house, virtual walkthroughs, whatever it might be, but go visit the program. So go tour the school. The first thing to do is to be attentive to class size. This may be through observation or asking questions, or a combination of both. So a small class size can really mean the difference between a good and a great school, and a great experience for your child, especially for a kiddo who is used to an early child experience with the smaller class size, or a kiddo who has not had a group experience in early childhood. A small class size really allows teachers the ability to attend to every student every day. It allows teachers to differentiate instruction. It allows the curriculum to be tailored to every child's needs. It allows for small grouping to happen, and it also allows students to engage more both academically and socially. And so I cannot overstate the importance of small class sizes. And that was one huge factor in the way that we decided and chose the program that we did for our kids. Additionally, you want to really explore and look at daily schedules within the school. So how do they balance the classroom time to specials? Because the specials are still very, very important. So those arts, so art, music, PE, all of those, are they still getting those opportunities for time in those specials? Are there opportunities for a second language? Are there opportunities for them to get to pick and choose specials? Is there developmentally appropriate playtime? So for kindergarten, we really want to balance between academic and playtime. And so even the classroom structure should still be set up similar to a childcare program. So there still should be like a block building area or a dramatic play area, a sensory table, so that they're getting that balance between sitting at a table and doing group work and also being able to play within the classroom, as well as that unstructured outdoor play. Obviously that is monitored, but it is unstructured, where the kids are able to have time to be able to play freely outdoors. Something we love about the school that we chose is that our kiddos get to go play outside even in the snow. So we send a snowsuit and snow boots, and they play outside in the snow. And it's a great self-help skill as they learn how to put their snow boots and snowsuit on themselves in kindergarten. And it's also really great for them to get that outside time and get fresh air. So you want to look for the balance of that. Additionally, ask questions about before and after school programming, childcare answers, and the other resource and referral agencies in the state can help you find before and after school care if the school does not offer it. But oftentimes schools will offer before and after school programming on site, which can be helpful because then your child is with kids they know, and then there's no need for transportation either. Also, you want to look for schools that offer diverse work groups. So there's a diverse group of children, but also a diverse group of learning styles, so that children are working at different levels and the teachers know how to support children at working at different levels. So there's a lot of differentiated instruction. Lessons are structured to meet the needs of different learning styles. And the teachers can support those learning styles. And again, that's best supported through those smaller class sizes. And lastly, learning should be fun. So when you're touring programs and you're popping into classrooms, you should see children engaged and excited. Take note, that should mean a lot. And if they are not having fun and you don't feel the joy of learning, radiating from children, then trust that as your gut. That may not be the school for your family. Everything else should come naturally if the love of learning is fostered within the school. So outside of those, you also have a choice on the type of program that you can send your child to. And I really want to stress the importance of choice, and choice outside of school district and outside of income, because you truly do have a choice. I know that families have limits when it comes to transportation and hours and things like that. So there are always things to take into consideration. But even within a school system, there is choice. So within your district school, you have the choice of the school that you're district for, as well as charter schools within that district and specialized schools. So for instance, I might be district for school A, but then there's 3 other schools that I might be interested in. One is a school that's a Spanish immersion program. One is a STEM school, so science, technology, engineering, and math. And then another is a high ability school. And I might be more interested in those 3 schools than I am with the school that I'm zoned for. So what I can do is I can apply or petition for my kids to go to one of those schools. And those applications typically have a deadline, at least 6 months before school starts. So start the process early, and it's often first come, first serve. But I can say as a parent and start that process early that I would rather my child go to one of those schools than the school that they're assigned. And then that is a choice, and that is covered under my school district, just like going to my assigned school. Additionally, I have the choice of going out of district. So I might live in one district, but I prefer a different district schools. Maybe they're better schools, or there's perks to those schools that my school system doesn't offer. I can also apply to go out of district. Typically out of district applications, they don't accept as many. And you do have to transport your child to the other district school. And there may be a small fee associated with it, but there is the option to look into. I always say apply, and the worst case scenario is that you get denied because too many families applied. So those are your public options. Additionally, you have your private or independent options, which are your faith-based schools, like your Catholic, Christian, Lutheran schools, your truly independent schools, so like your Orchard, Park Tudor, Sycamore, those types of schools. Your specialized schools, so these are going to be similar to your STEM and immersion program schools, but private or independent, like the international school. And then childcare programs. So there are childcare programs that house private kindergarten programs within them, or some go up till 3rd grade. So these are also an option for you. Obviously, these schools come at a cost, but many of these schools offer scholarships and financial aid to make them affordable to families. I am one of those families. My kiddos go to private school, but without scholarships and financial aid, my kiddos would not go to private school. So look into them because you'd be surprised at what you could qualify for. Additionally, Indiana offers the Choice Scholarship Program, which provides scholarships to eligible Indiana students to offset tuition costs to participating schools. So this is another great way of paying for schools that are either out of district or private. So not all schools participate, but if you scan this QR code, it takes you to our Paying for Childcare page. And there's more information at the bottom of the page about this Choice Scholarship Program and a link to the Department of Ed's website that has a full list of all of the participating schools. And this is, again, another way for families to have access to private schools. And so this is a great option for a lot of families to be able to afford those private or faith-based schools or to go out of district. So now that I've talked about your options, now it's a matter of Googling and chatting with other families and trying to decide what's best for your family. Once you've made that decision, it's important to start the kindergarten registration process. Every school is different, so I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of how to go through the kindergarten registration process. The QR code on this page will take you to our kindergarten transition guide, which goes through all of the forms you need in Indiana to register your child for kindergarten, as well as a walkthrough of what to expect when it comes to kindergarten transition. It also has links to all of the school systems kindergarten transition pages, as well as some information about some of the private schools in Indiana. It doesn't have all of the private schools because it's sometimes changing and it's hard to kind of gather all of that information. But it gives you kind of your first stop in finding out that information, but at least it gives you all of your district information. Many of the district schools require the kindergarten registration process to begin in about early spring. If you're wanting to go out of district or to apply for one of the specialized schools or a different school within your district, knowing that that starts a little bit earlier. So this is the perfect time to begin deciding on a school and starting that process. If you are wanting a private school or just exploring that option, oftentimes in order to apply, there is an interview and some testing required for that process too. So again, this is the perfect time to begin that process. Many schools have open houses in the fall because they know that that's the first step in the application and enrollment process. So open houses in the fall, early winter, it's the application, and then that registration process starts in the spring. So this will give you more information about that transition and what the registration process looks like. So as you're searching for programs, searching for schools, trying to decide what are my options, where do I look, ask around, ask friends and family, where do you send your kids? Are you happy with them attending that school? What do you like? What do you not like? Just like I mentioned before. Search the internet. You will likely, after listening to this, know kind of what you're looking for in a school. So if you're looking for a Catholic school, search Catholic schools in Indianapolis, and it'll take you to the Archdiocese website, which will give you a list of all of the schools. So then you'll know how to narrow down your search from there. If you're looking for private schools, search private schools in Indianapolis. If you're looking for Spanish immersion programs, search for that. The internet is a great tool. Also, drive around your community and Google the schools that you see. Websites can give you a ton of information and can be that first stop in deciding, yes, this is a school I'm interested, or no, this is not a school that I'm interested in. And lastly, we are a resource. We can help connect you with schools and before and after school programs. We can also help you and talk through more of what your child's strengths and needs are and what program might be best for your family. So if you visit childcareanswers.org, you can just click Find Childcare, which will take you to our family information form, which is the same as finding a school. It's the same link, same support, all of that. Additionally, here are 3 great tools to help you in your search for choosing the right program and to help your child transition to school. The first one is a resource from NACCE, which is the National Association for the Education of Young Children, which is a mouthful, but they are a fantastic resource and truly the experts on early childhood. And they have a resource called What Kindergarten is Right for My Child. And they really dive into kindergarten readiness and understanding how your child learns, and from there making the type of childcare choice from there. Additionally, understood.org has a really great resource on experts weighing in on the choice on delaying kindergarten or not. So I will let you read that and make that decision for your family from there. And lastly, another great resource from understood.org is a list of great children's books for starting preschool and kindergarten to read with your child and help with that transition, because it is a huge transition, especially going to kindergarten in a big school. It can be scary and overwhelming for young children. So reading books can help prepare them for that transition. So alongside of this resource, we also have a transition to school page and a transition to school webinar that you can watch. You can access that through our kindergarten transition guide. But here are 8 great books that you can read with your kiddos to help them through that transition. And lastly, just that reminder that at the end of the day, the choice is yours to make. You get to choose where your children go to school. And if it's full day, half day, whatever that is for kindergarten, and if it is not the right choice, you can always change that choice. So you know your child best, and trust that you are the expert on your child. So follow your gut, and remember that you're not stuck in your choice. And we are here to help. I'm here to help you make that best decision possible. And know that if you go through those steps, that you will likely find the right school community that is the perfect place for your family and for your child. So if you need any support, this is our family engagement team. So I am Lauren, so my email is up on the screen, laureng@childcareanswers.org. And then we also have Megan, who is our bilingual family and community engagement specialist. So she works with families whose first language is not English. So she is fluent in Spanish and then uses translation services to speak with families whose language is not English or Spanish. And then Jamie and I split the work for all other families. So we are here to support you, and thank you for listening, and good luck in your journey of finding both a kindergarten for your child, but a school family and a school community, whether it's K through 6 or K through 8. So thank you for joining us today.